Guys, welcome to the I Love CVille Show. It's great to be with you on a Friday. I am fired up, and why I'm fired up, Minnush in the house. Am I saying that right?
Really
Minnush.
close. Minnush,
Minnush
you got
in
it.
the house. This band is going to make some moves for us on the I Love CVille Show. It's a perfect Friday. Summertime, it's gorgeous outside. We're going to take you into the weekend with one of the most badass bands in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. We're going to introduce you to a band that I think has a great sound to them. We'll talk about their story, their musical influences. We'll hear 4 to 5 songs live. Welcome Ray Cadell to the program. Give it a like, give it a share on any of the streams that you are watching. We are bringing the energy. I am high on life on this Friday, baby. Sam Dell, welcome to the show. Let's thank some of the people that make the program possible. First, we'll give some love to one of our favorite clients, Intrastate Pest and Service Companies. Since 1969, this business has made Charlottesville and Central Virginia a better place. I'm going to give you a 10-second story about the business. It started in 1969 with one man and one truck. He had a dream to create a family business. He would go to his first house, service it successfully, and then go to the closest payphone, where he would call his second customer and say, "May I go to your home now?" Today, it's 4 family generations strong and almost 100 employees, a Commonwealth-wide footprint, an office in Richmond, the city of Charlottesville, and the Shenandoah Valley. It's Intrastate Pest and Service Companies. We will give some props to our good friend, Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Chiropractic and Sports Medicine, the good doctor. Who's got your back? Dr. Wagner's got your back. We came up with that tagline. It's a good one, don't you think, Trevor?
It's really good,
That
yeah.
is a good tagline. Harris Tolbert, let's go to the studio cam, my friend. Let's welcome the band to the set. Gina Sobel.
Yep, you got it.
We got Trevor Pietsch.
Hey, guys.
And we got Susan Gaeta in the house right here. Let's have some fun. I will shut the hell up. Gina, talk to us about your band, baby.
All right, so like I said, this is my newest project. It's called Minnush. It's a Sephardic fusion group, modern Sephardic fusion group. Basically, we're taking this traditional music and just giving it our own spice to it, bringing in our influences, bringing in jazz, American folk, whatever we're really feeling. Throw some backbeat in there, make it danceable. So it's been a lot of fun, and we got a big show coming up on Sunday.
I love it. Talk to us about the show.
It's at the Front Porch, right downtown, and we'll be playing 7 to 9. I think there are a few tickets left, so you can be that lucky person.
I love it. I love it. Let's get Susan in the mix. What do you love about playing in this band, baby?
Well, I've been playing Sephardic music for 20 years in the traditional style, and this is a whole new sound. It's a place I wanted to go for a long time. I met Gina, and she's taken us there, along with Trevor and Kevin. And it's a great new sound because the mission of this music is to keep it continuing, because we sing in a language that has been declared a dying language by UNESCO. And one way to keep it alive is to sing. And this is also a way to bring it to future generations.
Love that answer.
Yeah.
I love that answer. We're very Cliff Notes synopsis, very, very easy to understand and approachable. I love it. I love it. I love it. Janice is giving you some props.
Hey, that's my mom, yeah.
Where's your mom watching right now?
Ashburn, Virginia.
She says, "What you doing, Trevor?"
It's another Friday morning, I don't know. They just told me to be here.
Albert says, "What up, guys?"
Hey, what's
Give
up,
it a
Al?
like, give it a share. If you want to relay something to the band, I'm happy to do it. Just put it in the chat box on any of the streams that you're watching. Trevor, get in here. What do you love
That's
about
me.
this band, baby?
Well, I mean, I've been playing lots of different kind of music, mostly like improvised, original stuff, some covers for like a long time. But like working with Gina and Susan is awesome. Gina's got awesome flute chops and great band leader. Susan's also great band leader, and she's like, what do you call your title? Virginia Master Artist.
A master artist at Virginia Humanities.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, baller.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
impressive.
I know. Sounds great.
Yes, it does.
Culturally significant
I love it.
stuff going on here.
Just like this band.
Yeah.
I mean, you're preserving a culture through playing music.
Yeah.
Is that safe to say?
That's right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to shut the hell up. I know my role in the show. It's to let you guys do what you do really well. Well, thanks some of the people that are watching the show. Harris Tolbert, get ready for song number 1. Rain and Connie Matternick, thank you for joining us. Your page is blowing the hell up.
All right.
Megan Folger, hello. Jonah Belser, hello. Jonathan Iredell, hello. Ariel Vidgoski, Chris Watt, give it a like, give it a share.
What's up, guys?
Art Wheeler says, "Que pasa, chica?" Judah Wickower, get in the mix over there, help direct and produce my friends. Gina, show is yours.
All right, Trevor's going to kick it off for us.
What are we going to hear?
We're going to play our namesake song. It's called Minnush. It's actually, so Minnush is a Ladino word that means like my sweet one or my dear one. It's a term of endearment. So, oh, my little Minnush. This is a song about a Minnush that is unrequited.
Nice, Gina. All right. I'm out of the way. You guys lock and load.
La de medio colorada, empecillo del amor. Aman Minnush, Minnush, kuzum Minnush, Minnush. Aman Minnush, Minnush, kuzum Minnush, Minnush.
Nice. You're getting some props right now. Rain Connie Matternick says Gina Sobel rocks.
All right.
That was fantastic, Trevor. The stand-up bass. I always love the stand-up bass. The stand-up bass has so much like sophistication and class and like heart and like it just makes a freaking statement.
Yeah.
You know, talk to us about the song. Why don't we throw it to you, Gina, and then let's just have a friendly conversation of what we just heard right there. Welcome Asher McLaughlin to the program.
All right. What's
Yeah,
up,
he's
Asher?
good people. Show is yours.
All right, so Minnush is a traditional song. It's in Ladino, which actually I'm going to throw this to Susan because she's the master.
So Ladino is a language of the Jews from Spain. It's a Jewish language.
It's like Yiddish.
It's written in Hebrew letters, like Yiddish.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the language of the Jews from Spain. They were expelled in 1492, and they took it with them wherever they went throughout
took
the
the
Ottoman
music with
Empire.
them, too.
And they took their music with them. So Minnush is it's a love song. There are a lot of love songs that we do. And it's about 3 carnations in a little basket, and it's about sending an arrow to find love and to find mazal. You might have heard that word, which is luck.
But in Hebrew.
In Hebrew.
So that's an interesting thing. If you speak Spanish or know a little Spanish from school, but also grew up going to Hebrew school or whatever, you'll be able to hear some of these nouns that are thrown into Ladino that are Hebrew words. You'll recognize them. Like instead of familia, we say mishpacha in Ladino. So it's kind of an interesting mix.
I love it. I love it. Give it a like, give it a share on any of the streams that you're watching. Andrew wants you to talk. He says, hey, Peachy.
Yeah.
Tell us about that big guitar you're playing right there.
That's a big guitar that I put it in the Honey I Shrunk the Kids, but like what is it, the second movie where they get bigger? Yeah, that's what that is. No, it's just like a kind of regular upright bass thing, 4 strings. It's a 3/4 size. They make an even bigger one.
We've had a bigger one on set.
Oh, really?
Leslie Bourdet.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
a big
Okay.
bass.
Oh, my God. And it was like a 60-year-old stand-up bass. And it
Oh.
was like his pride and joy. And that thing was a monster.
They're huge.
I mean, he can make it sing, tell a story. Just like
For sure.
you can make it tell a story. Talk
Oh,
about
he's
what you
practicing.
love about the namesake song.
Namesake song? Oh, I mean, well, so these ladies, when I met them for this project, they're like, all right, this song is traditionally done with like women and a tambourine, just a cappella plus tambourine.
Right.
But they're like, Trevor, why don't you play some bass over it? And
Sounded cool.
I don't even know if they gave me like chords or anything, but you can definitely like hear in the melody, there's like a chord progression happening. So I'm like, okay, hear that. I'm gonna try to lock in. We have a percussionist in the group as well, but he's in Richmond right now.
Yeah, Kevin Johnson, you probably know him from Jawala Collective or a billion other bands.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Andre Xavier, owner of CVille Hop On Tour, is giving you some props right now. Nathan Simpson says, "What up, Trevor?" Miriam Feltman giving you some props right now.
Wow, nice.
You guys are making an impact right now. We're one song in. Gina,
Yes.
lead us to song number 2, por favor.
Ooh. Do you guys want to do La Capara?
Sure.
Okay. Get a little crazy.
I hope
yeah,
you get
this is
crazy. Okay? Follow the host.
Find this piece of paper. So attached to this paper.
Oh, it's kind of a little holster.
Oh yeah,
I like
they
it.
call it a quiver.
Oh, quiver.
You put your bow in it.
It's like a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Dude, baller. Love it, love it.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No se llama a las 5 de la mañana, gallo está gritando, a todos despertando. Déjame a dormir, no me quiero levantar. Déjame a dormir, el Dios me va a perdonar. Déjame a dormir, no me quiero levantar. Déjame a dormir, Dios me va a perdonar. Ay. Hermosas y chicas fazeron las burriquitas, todos las están comiendo, el aquí están viviendo. Déjame a dormir, no me quiero levantar. Déjame a dormir, Dios me va a perdonar. Déjame a dormir, no me quiero levantar. Déjame a dormir, Dios me va a perdonar. Ay. No se llama a las 5 de la mañana, gallo está gritando, a todos despertando. Déjame a dormir, no me quiero levantar. Déjame a dormir, y Dios me va a perdonar. Déjame a dormir, no me quiero levantar. Déjame a dormir, Dios me va a perdonar. Ay.
Yeah. That's what I'm effing
Yeah,
talking
that's
about.
what I'm talking about.
Crushed it.
Oh my God,
was
she
so
crushed
quick.
it.
It was so good.
Thanks, man.
Who wants to start with that with Gina?
Well, I got to tell you that.
That was amazing.
It was amazing. Sephardic music was originally women's a cappella, just vocal,
And
and then a
tambourine and
tambourine.
so it's evolved.
So, well,
You're evolving it.
flute is definitely not a traditional Sephardic instrument,
Jazz flute especially.
but we are like killing it with that.
I
This is
love
what
it.
makes us so unique. too,
Right.
is- yeah,
Innovation.
yeah, absolutely.
Talk to us about the flute and how the flute is integrated into Sephardic music.
Well, it's kind of like I play Sephardic music and I play the flute and it just kind of works. And that's sort of what we're doing with this music in general, though. Like, you know, it's folk music, and as like folk music goes through time, it picks up like other influences from whatever places the people who carry it pass through. And in a lot, we actually talk about this a lot in reference to the music that we're doing. It's kind of a refugee music. It's music that people took with them when they were forced to leave their home. They carry their culture and their art, and as they went to the Balkans, as they went to North Africa, as they went all over, they were picking up these other influences. Those words were getting into the language. They were getting there's a lot that we do in 7/8 Balkan rhythms. And so we're just sort of keeping that tradition alive. The person who wrote that song and who we've learned a lot of this music is a woman named Flora Jagoda. She also was a refugee and fled Bosnia during the Holocaust and ended up in the United States. And so we're sort of taking that music on this continuation, this journey, and putting in our own influences. So that's jazz, that's American folk music, that's all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Having Kevin play tabla with us is just such an incredible tonal addition to this group. And it's less that like we're trying to squeeze in as many influences as possible, and more that we're just like sharing our voices and adding them to the music and the tradition.
I love that answer. It was such a like heady, like old soul, like Renaissance, like deep thinking answer. I feel like, and I love this because I love to get to know the musicians on set. It's different when you're playing and you're talking about it and you're interacting with the audience in such a dynamic way here. I mean, you were like Renaissance. You were like heady.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's like some thought that went into this outside of like, having a couple beers, I went outside, I got my mind right, and then I came on stage to play some music. You know
there is some, like we definitely go there sometimes too.
Right,
But this band's a little different.
But there's some history with us that's important to say. So I am a master artist with Virginia Humanities, and big shout out to John Lohman and the Folk Life program at Virginia Humanities, because he's brilliant. What he's developed over the years is to take a master artist to pair with an apprentice to learn the art, to continue it. So I was an apprentice to Flora Jagoda. She was a National Heritage Fellow, and I was her apprentice in 2005. So now I'm a master artist, and Gina and I just finished an apprenticeship master program where she went through studying this music of Flory's that she passed to me and I'm passing to Gina. Mm-hmm. So
you guys are like heady intellectual musicians. They don't always go.
I know. If it weren't for this program, I mean, we really brought a lot together on it. So now it's her turn.
Mm-hmm. And now we have
Minnush.
Minnush.
To the next level. We have Minnush.
Do you feel a sense of accountability or pressure or skin in the game to continue the legacy, if you may?
Absolutely.
Talk to us about that.
It's totally my mission. It's part of my responsibility as a master artist. And I continue the story and the music of my mentor, Flora Jagoda, and that's totally part of my mission. So this is even more than I had imagined, because most of our audiences are, from my generation, older. And now to be able to actually, I was always wondering, how do we take it into the next level?
You're making it mainstream.
How do we take it to this new generation?
Everyday vernacular.
And I looked for years for an apprentice that I thought could do voice, instrumentation, everything. I have to say it was tough, and then here she comes.
Yeah, I mean, next thing you're gonna say, walk on water, take loaves and fishes, and feed the hungry. That's what you're gonna say? I mean, but seriously though, I mean, so impressive. Let's give some props to some people that are watching. Asher says, that was awesome.
Aw, thanks, buddy.
Some props right there. Ray Cadell, thank you for sharing the show. Keith Smith, thank you for sharing the show. Wayne Hensley and Jeff Sanders watching. You're getting some props right now. Mariah Doyle, who we see at Tin Whistle all the time. Hi, Gina from Mike and Me. Get it, girl.
Aww.
Dan Purdom is giving us some props right now. Give it a like, give it a share on any of the streams that you are watching. I'm happy to relay the messages to the fellas, the members of the band, the ladies, and the fella. Listening with Andrew Neal, says Rain and Connie Matternick. Janice says, my son Trevor, love hearing you play with these beautiful, talented ladies.
Yeah, she likes this music a lot.
We have folks watching in Maryland, North Carolina, in Miami, on Long Island, in New York, and Brooklyn right now.
All right.
Nice. Love it. I'll get out of the way. Gina, talk to us. Song number 3, por favor.
Let's do Buena Semana.
Okay.
I got to ask you about the Cuba trip, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll do that after this song.
Okay.
This is another one of Flory's songs.
How you doing over there, Trev?
Gina is doing some very good athleticism right here.
We're making it happen.
We actually were just working on an arrangement of a new song, or an old song, that we're turning new in
Go ahead.
We put it into 7/8 time instead of the 4/4 time to make it groove a little harder. And Trevor had this amazing 7/8 dance to keep that groove going.
Okay.
So maybe you'll see it Sunday if you come to the concert.
Sunday at the Front Porch, man. People
yeah.
about the show. Judah, while you're directing this, put it to the studio cam to start, and check that power strip behind Trevor if you could. Put it behind the wall. Okay, Gene, the show is yours.
All right, you want to start it, Trev?
Oh, yeah.
Buenas semana mos del Dios, buenas semana mos del Dios, buenas semana mos del Dios, salud y vida. Buenas semana mos del Dios, salud y vida. Vengan al cal, que mis fillos vengan al cal para matar la torra, salud y vida. Para matar la torra, salud y vida.
Done, Trevor. That's all right. Here we live show at its finest right now. Give that plug a little in right there. Judah, check out that power strip for us. Nothing at all. Dylan Norvik giving you some props. Peachy, Gina digging the grooves and the harmonies, guys. You sound absolutely beautiful.
Thanks, Dylan.
Nice.
Talk to us about this song, Gina.
All right. Well, it's an original composition by Flora Gigotta, who was Susan's teacher, and I actually got to study with her a little bit too, which was pretty amazing. You want to talk a little more about it?
Please.
Buena Semana is wishing you a good week. So, Shabbat, or the Sabbath on Saturday, is over when the sun sets, and this song was written to say, we hope you have a peaceful, healthy, good week. Ve que mis filhos, my children, go to the Kal is the synagogue, para salud y vida, for health and for life. So it's just an uplifting, have a good week song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the song because the positive vibes. I mean, you listen to that song, you can't help but get in a good mood.
Yeah.
You listen to that song, you can't help but sway and like just feel better about what's going on. You guys recently took a trip to Cuba.
Yes.
Please put that in perspective for us. Mi madre es cubana. I'm half Cuban. A proud aspect of my life.
Wow.
I haven't had an opportunity to visit Cuba. I'm jealous. Gina, show is yours.
Yeah, so it was partly with the Virginia Folk Life program, which was really incredible, and they helped us get there, and partly with the Cuban American Jewish Mission, which does a lot of stuff, like they bring pharmaceuticals to the Havana Free Pharmacy and stuff like that, which is for everyone, not just for Jewish Cubans, but for all people who live in Havana can use that, which is really incredible. And we toured all over the country and played these incredible concerts, and we'd show up to sound check about usually an hour and a half before the show, and we'd meet some Cuban musicians who had been hired to play with us on the concert. And we'd teach them the music and sound check in like an hour, and it was always amazing. My dad was able to join us too on mandolin, add different flavor.
Yeah.
It was a little more traditional than what Minnush does. We were sort of sticking to the Sephardic roots a little more. But yeah, it was just the most incredible experience. Especially those connections with other musicians. It's just like, it was insane.
Talk to us about the trip.
Well, this trip was special because we went to 4 different areas and we met with different Jewish communities, although the greater community attended our concerts. There's about 1,200 Jews in Cuba. About 800 or 900 of them are in Havana. So some of our concerts in some of the campos, in the countryside, were much smaller. So we had a much greater community attendance. Again, I loved playing with the musicians. Everywhere we went, it was so... Gina, with her flute in her backpack,
Yeah.
could go anywhere.
And what, you get a crowd of people around you?
We'd be
Right.
at the top of a hotel drinking,
Mojito.
mojitos.
Nice.
And this 5-piece band shows up, and she's in her humble, hey guys, could I sit in with you maybe? But what do you play? Oh, flute, great. And then she starts playing, and they're jaw drops, what? And everywhere we went, in Havana,
It was so
wherever we were,
welcoming.
she could just sit in, and we had a blast.
How did Havana respond to are you a gringa?
What's that?
Are you a gringa?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? How did they respond to 2 gringas that were talented musicians in Cuba?
They loved it,
How did they respond to you? Were the fellas all about it? I'm putting her on the spot right now. They were, right? I mean, plays a flute is beautiful. Come on.
Of course they're all about it.
Yeah, how did you handle that,
It
Gina?
was kind of cool because people would if they saw you sort of groove into the music, the band would someone in the band would come up with claves or a gyro or something like that. Do you want to join us, play some percussion?
Yeah.
And that was kind of across the board. Whenever we were in a bar or whatever, and there was a
Really
band
friendly.
playing and it was sort of low key, they always wanted to invite people up. And I don't know if that's because they know a lot of Americans who go to Cuba have a musical interest or what, but it's just really warm and welcoming. And so I would be tengo mi flauta, está bien, and then I would hop up on flute.
Do you speak any Spanish?
I mean,
A
I'm
little?
not, yeah.
To keep the conversation going, you probably understand more than you can speak?
Yeah, it's kind of if people talk too quickly, I get overwhelmed. So if I've had a few mojitos, it's okay because then I'm more
Because then you're not
relaxed.
overthinking it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm totally the same way. If I had a couple beverages, I'm fine. You can put me in there. If I'm not, then
Yeah.
I'm my own worst enemy, and then I'm oh, I don't want to make a mistake.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
overthinking it.
Sure.
Talk to us. Last question. I'm just fascinated about this topic.
Sure.
Cuba, how it's doing now, how the culture is, how the people are, sense of
Well-
pride. How's it going?
Well, the people were amazing.
Yeah?
Their lifestyle's pretty basic, and there's been a lot of changes with this administration now that is making it even more and more difficult for travel, for any kind of trade or business.
Because Obama made it open.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it could have
And
been
a lot of
going in
people
a
started
very different
businesses.
direction.
Yeah.
Around that,
But that's
yeah.
all been pretty much completely reversed.
Right.
So, but the people,
That's unfortunate.
they have a
Yeah.
tremendous sense of community, I thought. I mean, what I loved was just the people on the street in Havana. What was amazing to me was how grateful they were to hear our music.
Yeah,
The
that was-
gratitude of the people in everywhere we went, because it was unique and different. And
And you guys
it
are
was just
talented.
It was so genuine too, and not only in the Jewish communities, but people in general really were very grateful. The simplest things, like we brought some guitar strings that we gave to guitarists because they
awesome.
can't even access really good strings. They come, I don't know, some
Next time
stuff
I'm
from
bringing
China.
saxophone reeds. I feel
yeah,
like that's
I mean, we
one that's hard
decided,
to, yeah.
what do you bring? And they were so grateful and appreciative.
Is the
It was
flute
really cool.
ubiquitous in Cuba?
No, it's not.
Really?
I saw a few flute players in Havana, but nowhere else before that.
Why so? Because it's
Um,
expensive?
I think just because it's not a particularly traditional instrument in Cuban son and salsa. I don't know for sure. It was like I said, it was very common in Havana. We saw a bunch of flute players, but not in the campo at all. And there were trumpet players and occasionally sax players, but not that often. It was, the trace and the guitars and the percussion and stuff like that, bass and trumpet mostly. But yeah, in Havana, I met this flute player at a jam, and we they somehow found out I was a jazz player, and so they called Autumn Leaves, and it was this crazy Cuban version of Autumn Leaves, and it was so much fun, and we just jammed at each other and with each other for like the whole tune, and shared the licks and shared our solos, and it was just like, I mean, I'm still friends. I became friends with a lot of the musicians that we played with, and
you connect on social?
Yeah, and we chat.
Awesome.
It's great for me to practice my Spanish and to stay in touch and to talk about music, and it's been really cool.
And I'm gonna throw this to you, and then I want to hear the next song. It's so like indicative that music is like the world's language, much like math. Like anywhere you go, I feel like if you hear talented musicians like yourselves, you are gonna like gravitate to them, and you're gonna make a connection with them. And I just love hearing this. I love spotlighting you guys. You're getting a lot of props. You're getting a question on the feed. I hear you're playing the Front Porch. This is from Nick Duke Sr. Front Porch offers a fantastic variety. Guys, will you let us know what time and what day for the Front Porch?
We'll be there on Sunday, this Sunday, the 23rd, from 7 to 9. I think doors are at 6 or 6:30. I'm so excited. And we'll have the full band for that. So Kevin Johnson will join us on percussion.
I love it. I love it. Ian Mondelier.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Gina. Trent Whitting, what up? Thank you for joining us on the show. Timothy James Fallis, Jeff Sanders. You have 3 radio stations in the Southern watching right now.
Awesome.
I'm going to get out of the way. This is song number 4 on the I Love CVille Show.
España. Let's do another
España.
traditional.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, I won't hit the plug this time.
No problem.
España bien querida, nosotros madre te amamos, y mientras toda nuestra vida tu dulce lengua no dejamos. A ti España bien querida, nosotros madre te amamos, y mientras toda nuestra vida tu dulce lengua no dejamos.
Get it, Susan?
Aunque tú nos desterraste de tu seno, no estancamos de amarte. Aunque tú nos desterraste de tu seno, no estancamos de amarte. España bien querida, nosotros madre te amamos, y mientras toda nuestra vida tu dulce lengua no dejamos. Por ti nosotros conservamos amor filial, te
So good, so good, so good. You guys are on point right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, you guys are
this is
clicking. Mark Hall, way to go, Trev. Mark Hall, cannot wait to hear you all live. Keep up that beautiful, beautiful sound. You guys are making my day better right now.
man.
Where's Mark Hall watching?
I don't know.
Somewhere in the world.
I forgot what he's up to. We used to work together at Mellow Mushroom.
I love it.
Gina used to work
I
there
used to work there too.
On the corner?
Yeah.
When it rains, it pours, baby.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I love Mellow Mushroom. I spent many a day at Camryn. Okay, that's a conversation for another day. Talk to us about that song.
Sure. So, you're so good at this description.
This song is really special. A ti España. It's a song to Spain. Flory taught it to me that it was sung about remembering Spain, how we will love our mother always. And I would say, how do you have that kind of love for a country that exiled you? The Jews were all exiled in 1492. They had to leave the country or convert and leave everything. So she goes, but this song refers to the time before that, when the golden age of Spain. And it says things like, our language will never, nunca dejamos, will never leave our language, which they kept with them for centuries, the Spanish Jewish language. So it's this love for Spain.
We got a question coming in. This is from Long Island. Louise Long from Long Island watching right now. Talk to us about how you picked up the sound so easily when you don't speak the language. That's a good question.
Well, I lived in Buenos Aires for 8 years,
There
so
you
I'm
go.
fluent in Spanish.
Oh,
So
How about-
and so if you know Spanish, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Plus, I have to say I have a really good ear, so I could hear this.
like when you get that way, Susan.
I mean, you just do. You know, people with a good ear can speak and can really pronounce a language more easily. And I've worked with Flory for over 20 years, and I listen to her native speaking of Ladino. I think sometimes I have a little bit of that Argentine j in there, but it works. And it's good when you sing to understand what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
So Gina does. It's important. You have to put the feeling into the song, into the words.
Put that in perspective.
Yeah.
Of understanding what you're saying when you're singing, even though perhaps this isn't your first language.
Right. Well, one of the nice things about having it, if you look at the lyrics written down, like my Spanish might be a little slow in conversation, but it's good enough that I can usually understand things, and I know enough like basic Hebrew vocab that I recognize those words as well. And so if I take the time to really study the lyrics, like I'm able to sort of to understand it. And then Susan has really helped me a lot too through the apprenticeship program to really get the language enough to be able to sing it truthfully, if that makes sense.
And although it's not important really, because music is music, but having a Jewish background, both Gina and I, so some of the history there, we just kind of have a sensibility about that as well.
But I think
it doesn't. That's not as important, 'cause
right, and that's
musicians
kind
get
of
it,
one of the things that exactly like it gives you like an in for sure into the music, and I know that Flory would say it's important. But I think that's one of the things about Minnush. Half the band hasn't grown up practicing Judaism, and this music is for all audiences. And like, it's a lot of times Sephardic music has been performed in Jewish spaces. That's sort of like the usual like place you'll see a Sephardic concert. So a synagogue or JCC or something like that. And one of the things we want to do with Minnush is make this awesome music accessible to all kinds of people, not just Jewish people, not just Sephardic people, not just people who speak Ladino, but anyone who likes good music. And that's one of the reasons, we're mostly doing this because we think it's really important. But one of the reasons that we're really emphasizing this refugee story and immigrant story in the music, and when we tell the stories and when we present the songs, is because that's something that's relevant to so many people and so relevant in the United States right now, and just something that we all need to be talking about. And
it's
just
so relevant.
Right? And so like this music is refugee music from 500 years ago, but it's all that stuff is still happening, and it might not be happening necessarily to our group of people, but it's happening, and it's something that we need to talk about. And as Americans, it's our job to bring light on, to shed light onto that. And so one of the things we always do at our concerts concerts is partner with some kind of organization that's doing work in this
social
field.
entrepreneurs, social musicians.
Well, yeah, it's
we
just
love
kind
this.
of, it just feels like it's the right thing to do while telling the story. And like,
Yeah.
so the IRC in Charlottesville is going to be at Front Porch, and they're going to talk a little bit, and they're also, we'll be collecting donations for them. So they're incredible. They're an incredible organization. They help to, if you don't know about them, they help to resettle refugees in new communities and help them get on their feet, find work, find a place to live, find comfort for their families in a new, strange place. So.
Not to get political, but you know how much, as a son of an immigrant, okay, how much it like just burns me up when we start using phrases like build a wall around the country.
Right.
I mean, it just irritates the living bejeebus out of me because it's the absolute antithesis of what this country is entirely about.
Right.
You know? And we are all immigrants.
Exactly.
To the United States of America, okay? I'm just gonna leave it at that. Emily Cressy from Dropping Julia says you guys sound amazing.
Hi, Em.
Love you, Gina. You're getting some props from Jennifer K. Reynolds. Gina, you're amazing. Girls, I love you guys. Susan, you sound fantastic. The music is so good. Give it a like, give it a share on any of the streams that you are watching. They play Sunday at the Front Porch. We'll get the details out one more time on that. Let's do another one.
All right. Do you guys want to do Brace Rico?
Yeah.
Get some 7/8 up in here?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
It works.
Ready? Brejsa rika brej, tränger poco d'acqua. Brejsa rika brej, tränger poco d'acqua. Sto descansa. Aira show e da show, messiere gay, messiere gay. Aira show e da show, messiere gay, messiere gay. Brejsa rika brej, chica y hermosica, brejsa rika brej. Linda y sabrosica, yo te voy a mercar zapatos y un gabán, chismes de Chivali. Yo te voy a mercar zapatos y un gabán, chismes de Chivali. No me preheme a mí, que me merques tú. No me preheme a mí, que me merques tú. Tengo un padre, mercador muy grande. Él me va a mercar zapatos y un gabán, chismes de Chivali. Mercador muy grande, él me va a mercar zapatos y un gabán, chismes de Chivali. Brejsa rika brej, tränger poco d'acqua. Brejsa rika brej, tränger poco d'acqua. Sto descansa.
So good. You guys are just telling a story with your voices and your like instruments. I want to throw this to you, Mark Glickman. Welcome to the show. Love your sound. Susan, let me throw this to you. I think with what you're doing, it is as important to be such a talented musician and guitar player, flute player, stand-up bass player, and you guys absolutely are, as it is to be a storyteller of the music itself, to convey the background, the history of what you are trying to do. You're like building and continuing and evolving a brand in a niche in a category of music. And you guys are just phenomenal like storytellers. When you're done with the song, throw that to you of the importance of conveying the message and the history of what you're doing.
Well, you have to talk. We're singing in a different language, so we have to explain. And our concerts sometimes will go into a little more detail about Florey's story or the evolution of the music. It's important to know like what we're saying. This particular song is Turkish. It's not one of Florey's songs.
And you hear more Turkish words in it,
And
too.
you can hear, right, it's about a place in Istanbul, and it's about a market. It's another one of these love songs where a young man says, "Bre Sarika, get up and bring me some water." She says, "Sto descalza, I'm barefoot." And he goes, "I'll buy you shoes." And she goes, "No, my father's a great mercador. He's a great merchant in the market, and he can buy me shoes."
You'll have to do more than that.
So you got to do you got to do a little more than that. Yeah, the shoes aren't going to make it. They're not going to cut it for me. And it's lovely. I mean, that's a very Turkish rhythm too. I mean, so we get to expand too into some other, Greece, Turkey. But right now, basically, our focus is Florey's music. But we're just starting out. We have a lot of great ideas about where to go with this.
Oh my gosh, Gina, same question to you. The evolution of the category and how you convey it through singing, through playing the flute, and through the conversation following a song.
Sure. Well, I think that playing this music for new audiences is really important. So we really do have to do a lot of storytelling because people aren't familiar with the language, with where the music comes from, right? And so you want to explain that, you want to tell the stories, but you want to keep the flow going and keep the concert going. And so this is something that we're excited to do, sit-down concerts where we can do a little more storytelling, but also it's just fun music, and it's great to do in a festival setting or all kinds of different places. You could dance to a lot of this music, and the way that we're sort of evolving it, we're sort of pushing it even more in that direction so that you tell the stories, you give a little bit of background, but also you just let the music speak for itself in a lot of ways.
It reminds me of a super dope unplugged session when MTV was doing unplugged sessions back in the day. When Kurt Cobain was playing with an acoustic guitar and literally playing songs and then talking and it was as much about the music as it was the storytelling itself. And I think that's what literally is gravitating me and the audience to you guys. J Bug Louderback.
Hey, J-Bug.
Is giving you some props right now.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of questions about where and when we can see you live, which was the whole premise behind what we were doing here. Yeah. So throw it to you guys again. Where and when can we see everybody live here?
All right, we'll be at the Front Porch this Sunday, the 23rd, from 7 to 9. You can buy tickets on their website or on the Facebook event, Minnush at the Front Porch. And Front Porch is an amazing roots music school right in downtown Charlottesville. They do a lot of work all over the community. They are a nonprofit. They always make sure that every kid can take music lessons, even if they don't necessarily come from a background where that's something that their families encourage or that they have the money to do it. There's a whole fundraising side of the Front Porch that just makes it accessible to all kinds of people, which is really incredible. And they host all kinds of music, everything from bluegrass to Sephardic music. So it's kind of an open space. It's really cool.
It's a melting pot of talented musicians.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I just freaking love what Emily is doing over there.
Yeah.
They are crushing it. We have Front Porch watching now. You guys rock. You guys rock. You guys rock. The show in totality will be archived on ilovecville.com. We will promote and syndicate this show for 30 to 45 days across our network. Follow them on Facebook. Get involved with this band. Support this band. Support the culture. You will see them around town. Seen Gina at some watering holes around town as well. Thank you kindly
Thank you.
for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was great.
Our pleasure. We close the show the same way every single time, guys. We ask you, please, 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 to embody the golden rule. I don't make it about religion. I make it about treating other people how you want to be treated yourself. The golden rule, the golden rule, the golden rule. It would be amazing if we all could embody this, and if we did, it would have this positive viral impact across our community. Charlottesville and Central Virginia need it more than ever. I'm Jerry Miller. It's the I Love CVille Show. For Harris Tolber, our director, Judah Wickhauer, our producer, Lauren Linsky, the team upstairs, thank you kindly for joining us. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Have fun.
Woo.
Good work, guys.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
So good. So good. Gina, so good.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
totally.
for real. We got one more thing. We're going to get the photo for the package right here. Judah will take that. I would say...